Hello everybody, AJ Rizik here, and today got something a little bit different. I had a whole bunch of little things that I wanted to talk about, so I figured, hey, let's just throw them all in one video, and I will rant and rave about all those little things, and hopefully you enjoy it. First topic is Ubuntu 15.04. 1504 series official release date is April 23rd, and we are past feature freeze, which means from this point on they're just doing bug fixes and making sure everything works smoothly, all that kind of stuff. And this morning I did my review of Ubuntu Gnome 1504. Wasn't a whole lot of new features to see there, and a big part of that comes from Gnome 314. There just wasn't a whole lot of new stuff there. You had some new animations, but no new software. You do see some updates of improvements of the Ottawa theme, and a couple of the apps had some updates, but nothing real big. But they are trying for that to make the best GNOME experience you can have on a Ubuntu base. So it is what it is. But looking at the other Ubuntu, official Ubuntu distributions, Xubuntu, we've got XFC 4.12, which if you haven't tried it out yet, be sure to check out my video on that. 4.12, they have made tons and tons of improvements, so we're going to see a lot of great things in Xubuntu 15.04. Ubuntu Mate, Martin Windpress, and the other developers there, they've been working their hind ends off, added tons of features. This is going to be another great distribution. Kubuntu, you know, they're working on integrating KDE 5 series into Kubuntu. Once again, lots of new stuff here. And then we get to Ubuntu proper. And what is new? Nothing. I mean, we've updated the kernel and some software packages, but as far as new features, nothing. And what's the deal? You know, uh, if you're familiar with, oh hey, it's Lou's channel, he did a review of the beta one, a week or so ago, and I'm on board with what he was saying in that we at Ubuntu they have completely ignored the desktop so that they can work on this whole phone and tablet thing. Now, I'm not against the phone and tablet. I'm I'm all for having more competition out there, and we need, as much as I like Android, there needs to be more competition for Android and for Windows Phone and for that fruit operating system. Uh, but don't neglect the desktop because you already have a significant user base there. Don't alienate those people. Um, why are we still on Unity 7, which was developed what back in, what do we see, that 1204, 1110? I mean, it's been a while. Um, the like I said, you've already got this base of Ubuntu users. Don't neglect them just because you've got this obsession with convergence. Because at the end of the day, if you're not already a Ubuntu desktop user, what is the motivation for you to switch your phone or tablet over to this new operating system? Or, even if you're not talking about switching operating systems, if you're a manufacturer, what is the motivation for having, the Ubuntu OS on your tablet or your phone if the Ubuntu user base is going to be dwindling because, oh, we're neglecting the desktop for the phone? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. All right, for those of you that follow me on Google Plus, know that I just recently got a Nexus tablet. That is the Nexus 7, and I'm using it to replace my Kindle Fire tablet right there. Now, there was nothing wrong with the Kindle Fire tablet. and I almost knocked my water over. That would have sucked. Anyway, uh, Kindle Fire tablet, great from a hardware perspective. And the Fire tablet that I've got, it's practically brand new. Just got it for Christmas. And like I said, for hardware, from hardware's perspective, it's great. Good processor, got a good amount of RAM, plenty of internal storage. Where the problem comes down to operating system, software, and Amazon pretending that they're Apple. Okay, so let me kind of start with the software thing. A lot of the apps that come with the Fire or are available through the Amazon App Store suck, and there's no other way to say it. And a lot of the Google alternatives that you find on Android are so much better. Now, the Fire operating system is based on Android 4.2, so you'd think, hey, I can just go and use one of the apps from the Google Play Store, except that you don't have access to the Google Play Store. Now, you can go and sideload these apps onto the Kindle Fire, and if you're not familiar with sideloading, basically you download the app onto your computer using a USB cable to transfer it from the computer to your tablet. Except that a lot of these apps don't function correctly. Um, for example, what am I trying to think of? Google Plus did not work correctly. If you use Google Hangouts, that app did not work correctly. Um, and then another one, and this one's kind of both OS and app. I downloaded the Nova launcher, which is an alternative home screen launcher, onto the Fire. And my reason for that was the launcher on the Fire sucks, and does so big time. And I wanted to go with something that would allow me to use widgets, would allow me to better use this really nice piece of hardware, except that the operating system has been tweaked so that those third-party launchers, you don't get a background and you can't use widgets, which is the whole reason that I downloaded them. So I'm figuring, okay, let's root the tablet. Well, the latest generation of Kindle Fire tablet, which is what I've got, can't be rooted. Nobody's come up with a root yet that won't break the device. So you're pretty much screwed all the way around unless you want to use it in their stock configuration, which is what Amazon wants, I guess. And it's the same deal as with Apple, where you don't really own the device that you've bought from them. You're just paying a fee for the privilege of using their device. Well, if I pay for something, I want to own it. Uh, I would have no problem if you went to go and install root privileges on your Kindle Fire, and there was a little pop-up notification that said, "Hey, if you enable root, we will void your warranty and we won't back up anything that you screw up on your system." I have no problem with that. That's cool with me. Um, but to deny access, and then on top of it, they've probably a lot of people are saying that they've added something into the software where if you try to root it, it purposely bricks it on you. I don't know whether that's true or not, but uh, I wouldn't put it past them. And like I said, it's the same stuff that Apple does. And it's like, I'm sorry, after I buy it, uh, I should be able to use that piece of hardware the way that I want to use it. So that was the whole reason for getting the Nexus. Now, for those of you that have been asking me, what do you think of the Nexus? It is an awesome tablet. At that price point, which is, roughly $150. I managed to get one a little less. I think I paid like $135 once you figure in the shipping, um, just because I managed to find a deal on eBay. But roughly, say right at $150. I don't think you're going to find another tablet with those kind of specs that can compete with it. Somebody had brought up the uh, Samsung Tab, which they make a 7-inch tablet that is approximately the same price point, but whereas the Nexus has quad core processor, the Tab has a dual core. The Nexus has 2 gigs of RAM. The Tab has one. So it's at the same price point, but at least on specs, it doesn't compare. And I've been using this thing for the past few days. Very snappy, very easy to work with. Um, the first night that I had it, it did take me a while to get it updated to the latest Android, just because I think when I first turned it on, it was on Android 4.3, so it's had to go through like 5 or 6 Android updates to get it up to the current what is it at 5.02. But I'm loving the tablet. Um, the launch screen's taken me a little bit getting used to, because I found that if you swipe from the left, or what is it, swipe from the right to the left, it activates your camera, and that's just how I've always turned all of my Android devices on. So I've got to retrain my brain to swipe from the bottom to the top to activate my tablet without activating the camera every time. But other than little things like that, it's turned out to be a great tablet. Very snappy. You can have a whole bunch of apps open at the same time, and it's not going to crash and burn on you or freeze up or glitch or anything like that. So really, really happy with this tablet. And last thing that I wanted to talk about was my new website, and I know a lot of you have been watching my WordPress tutorials showing, as I get the website set up, how to set it up, and building with WordPress and the Divi theme that I'm using, all that kind of stuff. So I'll just kind of give you a show of where I'm sitting at. Let me open up Chrome. Of course, this is a login from my back end, but I will show you. I got my new homepage done, and I've done a full screen homepage, and I've still got to tweak it. The spacing on this isn't quite the way that I want it. I wanted to have this little logo centered, and then as you scroll down, I want to add a little more space right there, that it'll show my various novels and then the latest blog posts. I've got to play around with the blog post blocks right there. I want to have the featured image included, but I don't want to take up this much space, so I've got to come up with some kind of compromise so I don't use up all that great amount of space. But anyway, I've got the homepage working, and I've pulled all the blog posts from my old blogs and incorporated into here. Of course, got a YouTube video gallery, which automatically uh, it's set up so that it automatically pulls in my latest um, um, YouTube video. So there'll be a gallery there where you can go and access every YouTube video I've ever made. So pretty stoked about getting that finished up. And well, the WordPress series, I'm going to continue that and just kind of incorporate it into my whole YouTube channel thing, even after I get the website finished. So, and that about finishes up this little, I don't know what to call it. It's not a review. It's not a tutorial. Rant, I guess, is the best word for it. Anyway, give us a big old thumbs up down below if you enjoyed the video, comments, questions, all that kind of stuff. Leave that down below as well. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.